Hello and welcome to the Fit to Transform podcast, where you learn how to train and diet effectively and, most importantly, how to maintain those results for life, once and for all. I'm Nikias Tomasiello, a transgender training and nutrition coach working online with anyone who's ready for a true lifestyle transformation, anywhere they may be in the world. As a friendly reminder, any and all information provided is for educational purposes only. You should consult with your doctor before implementing any changes to your diet and exercise program. With that disclaimer out of the way, thank you for being here. Now grab yourself a cup of tea or pre-workouts and enjoy. Hello and welcome back to the podcast. I'm super happy that you're here, and I still can't believe that I'm finally hosting my own podcast. I'm still a little nervous about it, but I'm getting more and more enthusiastic about it with every recording. This is episode 2 in the No Quit Kit series. It's part of an email series that you can sign up for free by clicking the link in the show notes. And the first episode was all about retraining your mindset for long-term fat loss success. And I talked about how goal setting is an important component of your mindset and how you can actually sabotage yourself by focusing on unhelpful goals. So what I want to do today is take a deep dive into the science and practical application of goal setting so that you never fall for unhelpful goals again. Now, setting goals has always been on my mind ever since I started coaching. In fact, I first learned about goal setting theory back when I was studying to become a personal trainer. And at the time, I was taught about SMART goals. And I'm sure you've all heard about them. But just in case, I'm going to go through what a SMART goal is really quickly. SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So an example would be, I want to lose 15 pounds in 15 weeks. To tell you the truth, I tried to use SMART goals once or twice with my very first clients, and it never went down quite as well as I expected. For one, unless you're a coach or a very experienced dieter, often when it comes to fitness, it's very hard to set realistic targets. For example, losing 15 pounds in 15 weeks could be just right for you, but for somebody else, it might mean trying to lose weight way too fast. And if that's the case, you're going to find yourself in one of two scenarios. In the first scenario, you are going to realize that you're not on track with this goal, so you're going to try an extreme approach that you can't keep up with, you burn out, and you give up. Or if you can keep up with it, then you don't keep the results in the long term because it's just too extreme of an approach and you're not going to be able to sustain it in the long term. It's not going to become your lifestyle. The second scenario is that you don't even try the extreme approach, you just give up because you're disappointed that you're putting in so much effort and you simply can't seem to meet the target that you set yourself. Another reason why SMART goals aren't always helpful is that they just don't give you the full picture. They are usually, well, in order to be time bound, they need to be set within a pretty short time range in the end. 3, 6, even 12 months isn't really a long time span in the context of your entire life. So for all these reasons, I felt that SMART goals just didn't give me all of the tools that I wanted to help my clients set goals that would keep them motivated and actually move them in the right direction. And then I discovered the hierarchy of goals. And a big source of information for me and a big source of inspiration for this episode is an open access scientific paper that I invite all of you to read because it was a game changer for my own understanding of goal setting. The paper is called How Focusing on Superordinate Goals Motivates Broad Long-Term Goal Pursuit, a Theoretical Perspective by Hoechley and colleagues, and it was published in 2018. Since it is open access, it means that anybody can read it for free. You're going to find a link in the show notes, so get on that because it is an amazing article. Now, the discovery of a hierarchy of goals was what truly changed the game in how I coach my clients to set goals. The goal hierarchy divides goals into three different categories based on their level of abstraction. So, abstraction doesn't mean that these goals are vague, they're actually quite specific to a certain extent. Abstractions means that they are not concrete, so that's an important distinction. So, the hierarchy goes from the most abstract goal to the least abstract goal. The most abstract category of goals is called superordinate goals. An example would be, I want to be healthy. The paper that I've mentioned just a second ago assigns the following characteristics to these superordinate goals. They are identity based, they are long term, and they cover a large scope, which means that they require work in multiple areas. For example, be healthy requires work in the realm of nutrition, in the realm of training. It requires work on improving sleep, stress management, and so on and so forth. So these are very different from SMART goals, and they are actually very similar to your values. For example, health is often a person's value, or if your goal, if you're here, is I want to build a physique that I feel comfortable in, then you value having a vessel, a body that you can call a comfortable home, not a vessel that you don't feel you can even call your own body, like many people who are gender diverse like me might feel. Then there are intermediate goals that have a medium level abstraction and they derive from superordinate goals. So if the superordinate goal is I want to be healthy, then an intermediate goal would be I want to exercise more or I want to eat healthier meals. They both serve the superordinate goal of I want to be healthy. Finally, the least abstract type of goals is subordinate goals. And these are what I called key performance indicators in my previous podcast. These are very, very specific and they cover a short period of time. For example, I'm going to exercise Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or I am going to eat 1500 calories every day this week. So, what's important about this goal hierarchy is that every category of goals is interconnected with the others. For example, you can't set your subordinate goals or your key performance indicators if you don't know what your intermediate goal is. But then at the same time, you can't set your intermediate goal if you don't know what your goal is. So these are all important, but you need to focus on them at different times. You can't be focused on them all the time. It's simply something that our brain doesn't do. For example, even if you have a value of wanting to be healthy, sometimes that's just not enough to motivate you. And that's when the key performance indicators are most important on a day to day basis because your performance in those KPIs is what's going to keep you motivated and disciplined. And as a result of achieving those goals, you are also benefiting the intermediate goals and the superordinate goals. Now, let's put this goal hierarchy all together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a free sneak peek into my coaching method because what I'm going to talk about is how I take a client through goal setting when they start working with me. First of all, you need to identify your superordinate goals. I usually call this your ultimate fitness vision. This is the person that you want to become by the end of your fitness journey. This is the long term result that you want to maintain for life. And essentially, this person is a collection of all of your values. When I want a client to come up with their own ultimate fitness vision, I ask them to write down the answer to this question. Who is the person you want to become? What do they do? And how do they feel? Certainly, since I specialize in muscle gain and fat loss, physique is going to have a huge role in the superordinate goal. However, as I mentioned in the previous episode, often you can't visualize the physique that you want to have because you have never had it. So trying to think about what the person you want to become looks like doesn't really work. And you also don't need to, because ultimately, if you know who this person is, what they do on a day to day basis, and how they feel, as a result of all of these three components, they are also going to look like the physique you want to achieve. Because often what people will say is some variation of the person I want to become exercises regularly 3 times per week, eats healthy meals that nourish their body, and feels comfortable in their own skin. Now, a person who has these behaviors and feels this way doesn't have a physique that you're not comfortable with and happy with. So you don't need to think about how you want to look. You need to think about who you want to be, what this person does, and how they feel. Now, from here, you're going to figure out your most immediate intermediate goal. And usually, if you're working with me, I'm actually going to advise you on that. I am never going to set a goal for you because if I do, you're not going to believe in it. However, I am going to advise on the best course of action to achieve your long term goal. In the end, I have the expertise on how to attain fitness goals. So I am going to guide you to choose the best one for you at the time. Now, if you're listening to this podcast and if you're following the No Quit Kit email series, then right now your intermediate goal is weight loss. This somehow fits into your superordinate goal of the person that you want to become. This intermediate goal might sound like a SMART goal, but it's different in that we're not setting a specific deadline. We're not saying, I want to lose 15 pounds in 15 weeks. We're saying, I want to lose weight right now in this season of my life, in this phase, because it fits into the long term journey that is going to take me to becoming the person that I want to become. I'm emphasizing the short term nature of this intermediate goal, the fact that it's, as I said, a season of your life or a phase, because too many people think that the intermediate goal of weight loss is the only goal. It's the superordinate goal. Nothing else matters. Once you achieve that goal, you're done with fitness and you just maintain. But that often doesn't work because weight loss isn't a value. Again, the superordinate goal is the collection of values forming the person that you want to become. That's going to be your deepest why, your ultimate fitness vision. That's what's going to keep you the most motivated when things get really, really hard and you want to stop doing what you're doing. So if you can't resort to a strong why, you're simply going to fall off track. And if you mistake that strong why for I want to lose weight, that's an intermediate goal. It's not your ultimate fitness vision. So it's not going to give you that boost of motivation that you need to keep going. However, the intermediate goal is still helpful to identify the key performance indicators or the subordinate goals that you need. The best person for this job when it comes to setting key performance fitness indicators is a coach. With my expertise, I know exactly what you need to do in order to achieve your intermediate goal. So I'm going to take all of the guesswork out of the decision for you. You don't have to spin your wheels for ages before getting started, wondering, oh, what is the best way to achieve this? I am going to tell you. I am going to give you weekly targets and I'm going to give you daily targets. And again, these are important to keep you motivated on a day to day basis when your superordinate goal or your ultimate fitness vision is simply too far away to be useful. And your intermediate goal of losing weight is just not value based. So, again, it's not going to be useful for motivation. KPIs, your key performance indicators, are very helpful because the more you hit them, the more momentum you build, the more you feel like you're leveling up every single week. And this is, in a nutshell, the most successful, by far, goal setting method I've ever implemented with my coaching clients. Ever since I started using this approach, I have seen incredible results in their motivation, their discipline, and their commitment to longer term goals. So, to recap, first of all, you need to write down your ultimate fitness vision, the collection of values making up the person you want to become. So, you need to answer these questions. Who is this person? What do they do on a daily basis? And how do they feel? The second step is to set the intermediate goals, the steps that you need to take over the course of years in order to achieve that ultimate fitness vision. And most importantly, you need to figure out what your first step needs to be right now. As I said, for many of you listening to the podcast today, it might be weight loss. Lastly, you need to set your subordinate goals, the goals that you need to attack on a daily and weekly basis that are going to help you achieve the intermediate goal, which in turn is going to lead to your ultimate fitness vision. And these key performance indicators are crucial to keep you committed to your goal on a day to day basis when your ultimate fitness vision is simply too far to provide daily motivation and discipline, and your intermediate goal isn't based on your values, it's just a phase that serves the ultimate purpose of achieving the ultimate fitness vision, so it also isn't motivating enough. What we're going to do in the next episode is I am going to take you through every single key performance indicator that you need in order to accomplish fat loss in a way that's realistic, sustainable, and that's going to lead to long term results. Before I go, I'm going to leave you with a little task, just like I did last week. I want you to sit down and write down your own hierarchy of goals, starting with your ultimate fitness vision, the person you want to become, what they do, and how they feel. Then I want you to write down your first intermediate goal, the one you need to focus right now in this season or phase of your life. And you can also draft some key performance indicators that you think are important to attain on a daily or weekly basis in order to accomplish your intermediate goal. And what you're going to do when you listen to the next episode is check if the goals that you set for yourself were correct or if maybe there's something more that you can learn from episode number 3. Like I said in the first episode, I strongly believe that if you take action after listening to these episodes and you don't just listen passively to them, you are going to get closer to that long-term lifestyle transformation that you've been chasing all this time. So don't skip this task. Write down what we talked about today. Write down your own hierarchy of goals. If you want, I would be super happy if you wanted to share it with me. So you can email me at fit2transform@gmail.com. I would love to see your hierarchy. I am very friendly, so please don't feel like you're bothering me or anything like that. I am telling you right now, please send it to me. I want to see it. And that's it for today's podcast. If you're ready to start your lifestyle transformation, you can inquire for one-to-one coaching by clicking on the link in the show notes. When you sign up for one-on-one coaching, you get your very own training program, which is personalized to you and based on an in-depth questionnaire and initial consultation that we're going to have face-to-face. In addition, you get plenty of video and or written feedback on your lifts or exercises so that you keep improving your technique and you can truly learn how to train as effectively as possible to develop your physique. You get personalized nutrition advice for any goal that you might have, whether that's gaining weight, losing weight, or maintaining weight but eating more healthily. Not only that, I'm never going to give you a nutrition target, whether that's calories or macros, and then say, hey, see you in a week and leave you to it. I am also going to teach you exactly how to hit those targets in a way that fits within your lifestyle. So you're not going to get a strict meal plan with foods that you've never seen before, and you're not going to have to give up on your own favorite foods. Finally, but most importantly, you get check-ins with me one-on-one, where I'm going to ask you about not only how well you could stick to the plan that we made, but also what did you struggle with and how can you improve next week. And I am going to help you brainstorm solutions to any challenge you might have. I'm going to give you support and accountability, and I am going to educate you on the science of nutrition and training so that you always know what you're doing, why you're doing it, why it's important. And you also get that confidence boost that we all need sometimes to keep progressing into the following week. Or if you're interested in online group coaching, then you can sign up for Transformation Kickstart, or TK for friends, my brand new 6-week group coaching program that I'm going to be starting on August 22nd for the first time ever. To celebrate the launch, the price for the first intake is £99 for the full 6 weeks. When you join Transformation Kickstart, you get personalized nutrition advice for fat loss. I personally set your calories and macros, and I teach you how to hit those targets with foods that you love and regardless of what life throws at you. You're also going to get a challenging training program selected by me from a selection of group programs that can suit all fitness levels. Last but not least, you get a Facebook community with like-minded people on the same journey as you. I'm going to host weekly group calls with all of my TKers or Transformation Kickstarters, which I'm also going to record so that you can watch them later if you can't make one. In these calls, I'm going to answer all of your questions, and you all get the opportunity to get to know each other, cheer each other on, and support each other on this journey towards your lifestyle transformation. Lastly, I'm going to personally adjust your targets every 2 weeks, if need be, in order to prevent plateaus and help you continue to progress throughout the program. What more could you want? So just click on the link in the show notes to either apply for one-on-one coaching or for Transformation Kickstart. To finish off today's podcast, if you want to support me and to help me reach more people, please leave a 5-star rating on any podcast platform that you're using. If you want to leave a few words as well, I would really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to reading how much value you're getting out of these episodes. Thank you for listening, and I'll speak to you soon.